let me start this session with Kapil. The mother theme is defining a new era. And, Kapil, I want to start with what's been happening in the sport, in cricket. Certainly, the way things are emerging post-COVID, I'll come to that. COVID has, is making us all rethink and relive our life. But I just want to say about this in cricket and about Indian cricket, that the IPL, the Indian Premier League, displaced the World T20 itinerary. I mean, the event didn't take place. Everybody, of course, the Indian Cricket Board wanted the IPL to be played, but almost every other cricketing nation also wanted the IPL to be played. And what you also find quite interesting is a lot of the Aussie players, like Steve Smith and David Warner, are saying that they've lived so long in the biosecure bubble, they may or they don't want to play in the Big Bash League, which is their own tournament, but they were quite happy to play in the Indian Premier League. How do you read this situation? Is this India kind of emerging, flexing muscles as the preeminent country for the sport in the world?
Oh, first of all, Ayaz, I'll buy you a biryani, and to her a drink. You said so many things about me. I personally feel when you're introducing somebody, if he's sitting there, don't talk too much. Just let it go. But thank you very much for your kind words. I can only say, yes, cricket have changed. People around the world, I think, only want to play IPL or Big Bash and things like that. Good and bad, both think. I'm a more positive person. I would say IPL have given us a strength. What it used to be county cricket, every best player used to go and play in county cricket, and England used to get benefit. Today, IPL giving us the benefit in a sense, all of the best player of the world coming and playing with our young kids. So the next generation is ready. So that's a good part. But the negative, if I have to say, don't only think about a T20 or IPL. Think about the bigger picture. Bigger picture is you have to look after your country cricket, first class cricket, Dreep Trophy. You have to look after the Test cricket, one day cricket. Don't let it go. I know it's a money making thing, which everybody love it. Good luck to cricket board. Good luck to the player. But as a cricketer, I would like to see we should not let go the tradition what we have, like if I put it in tennis thing, you can have all over the world, you can have a tennis on clay or you can have on synthetic, but you still have Wimbledon on grass.
Right.
And we let it go in the hockey. All over the world, hockey is playing on AstroTurf. It's not very good. Because we, Indian or subcontinent, was best in dribbling, that art of playing cricket. So let's keep up our tempo, our momentum for Test cricket also. There you see the art, how a Dravid, how Sunil Gavaskar built their inning. I love to see a lot of sixes, a lot of run out, a lot of brilliant catches, which never ever thought in my life, the day will come in my lifetime, I can see a fielding up to that standard by Indian.
But that's very interesting, because throughout your own career as a Test cricketer also, you were seen as a very unrestrained stroke player. You like to hit the ball in the air. I remember the 4 sixes you hit at Lords to avoid the follow-on. Who would have thought that you would hit 4 sixes to avoid the follow-on? And you hit 6 sixes in the 175. And you're talking about why we should maintain the flavor and the presence, the legacy of Test cricket, which is very interesting. But
I'll just say that if you have said, okay, I have to avoid the follow-on to play 4 overs maiden, I would have been dead. That wasn't my strength. Every team has a player who's their strength. Like we used to say about Sunil Gavaskar, his strength is not hitting sixes. He knows how to place the single. He knows how to steal the single. And that's what it is. But somebody like that didn't know how to defend the ball. So I know only one-way traffic, byway or highway.
Yeah, but that's somebody who's, apart from taking 434 wickets, also made what, 5,000 runs. So that's a lot of that's a lot of work that has been accomplished there. But
No,
let me
no, 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 no work. It's a passion.
no, yes, that's a
It's
body
a
of work.
passion. It's
Yeah.
a passion. When you are passionate, you're not bothered about workload. When you are in love, you don't bother about your watch, what time I have to go home. You're in love. And
That's
same
a
thing when
good
you're playing.
analogy.
Yeah, when you're playing cricket, it's a passion. Then there is no work. It's a passion.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of bring you to this post-COVID world that we are entering now. I mean, this is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, perhaps never will, what we have been through in 2020. So how do you see the game evolving? For instance, we've had the IPL without spectators. Now, people have just resumed, so okay, we'll play without spectators. But what if, it lasts for 7, 8 months more or 1 year more? Would it start affecting the players? Would it start affecting performance? How do you see this unraveling?
It's not fair for me to say because I'm not a part of that, but I'm judging if I
Yes.
put myself.
Yes.
No, it's not a thrill without people. You are an artist. Artist is there when the people are there clapping and praising at that very moment. If you say theater artist, if there is nobody is sitting, I don't think so they can perform. Yes, they will get used to. But this was the first tournament, I must say that. Hats off to all the players. They look so passionate about that because they didn't play cricket for 6 months. So if there is a crowd or no crowd, they look passionate, and that was the good part. Some of the cricketer look out of shape. That's okay. That's okay. But I must say that it is very tough for a cricketer because sports is for the audience. You want to enjoy that atmosphere, and doesn't matter how much music you put, how many artificial paper wall you can make, but it's no fun without people
Yeah.
whistling and saying, and good and bad both.
So now there's also this biosecure bubble. I'm going to lead from biosecure bubble to another question, but already the modern sports person, the elite cricketer, the elite athlete is so far removed from everyday spectators. It's the hygiene factor. They are isolated in any case. Now you put them in a biosecure bubble, and people like, Virat Kohli or even David Warner, they've talked about, the stifling feeling or sentiment you get by being in the biosecure bubble. Do you think the mental aspect is becoming so important in modern sport, which has become so competitive?
I think it is very difficult for the players.
Yeah.
Understand, this is 10 years a package, 10, 12, 14. You're not like Sachin Tendulkar who can play two and a half decades. It's not like that. Majority of the cricketer will play 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, maybe 14 years maximum. And after that, what happened? They live in the bubble. When they come out, they don't know how to live. It will be very tough for them to adjust themselves because they are under the scanner all the time. And how they will live like a common people. It will be very tough because then there will be no fan, no bubble, and you have to live your own life. It will be tough. I tell you, I can see that because a lot of cricketer olden times, 60s or 50s or 70s, when they stopped playing cricket, they didn't know what to do. They hit the bottle. You must be knowing more than I know that. So it is very difficult. So I would like they should mix around with the people. They should not live in a bubble. It's not very good. Yes, we created ourselves situation like that, but I like to see they go out in a restaurant, meet people, like what we used to do. Used to go to people's house, but things have changed. You have to live with the moment.
So now this mental aspect of the game is becoming, more and more people are talking about it. What I found is also disturbing, but it's also interesting. Even very young players talk of depression. Somehow they can't cope with is it the pressures or what? More and more people are talking about it. Was it also happening in your time, but people didn't speak publicly, or was it It didn't exist, something like this.
I think depression word I heard after my marriage. I never knew what is depression. Because when you are born in a family where is 7 kids are there can't be a depression. Depression is only when you're a single kid. So this is what happening because they become a very a single players almost. They don't know how to spend time with the friends. If they are spending time with a friend, every a person is watching them with a very serious note what they are doing it. But I think it's up to us also. Let them go. Let them have their time. But this will be going to happen, depression more and more, because when they are becoming more famous, it will be more tough for them to come out of that bubble and live a common life, simple life. It will be tough.
It's the pressure of, being, there's also the pressure of being famous and well known at a very young age, and
Yes.
so now there is the other aspect, which is also that this is the woke generation, the millennials. Now we've had Virat Kohli coming back after the first test, to be with his firstborn when his when they become parents, paternity leave, etc. How do you view this?
I don't think so. We could afford to go and come back. That's for sure. I mean, I remember Sunil Gavaskar. He didn't see his son for many months. So it was a different thing. Look at things change within that. If I talk about Virat Kohli, when his father died, he come back next day, start playing Test cricket.
Yeah.
Now he's taking a leave for his, a baby. It's fine, you can afford it. But I said, the things have changed.
Yeah.
You can afford. You can buy your plane and go and miss 3 days. You come and see your wife and your son, baby, or whatever, son or daughter. It's a great. I feel happy and proud today. The sportsman reach at that level where he can do that. We couldn't do our dinner also. Who's going to feed us for this evening's food? So things have changed. Let's put it positive. I'm happy for Virat. He's coming back to see his family, because I understand you have a passion, but the biggest passion is you are having a baby.
Correct. And also, I mean, to put it in perspective, if there were no quarantine law, 14 days quarantine again, he may have gone back after missing one test and played. But this has become, it's almost impossible for him to go back. But let's look at now the Kapil Dev impact on Indian cricket, which has happened. And I want to talk to you about fast bowling and fast bowlers. When Kapil Dev hit the scene in 1978-79, there was Rona Dhona in India ke fast bowler aate hi nahi hai. You get once in 30 years, 20 years, 50 years. Now, there's an endless line of fast bowlers. Some go down, Ishant Sharma is not available, Bhuvneshwar Kumar not available. There's a line of bowlers. They've taken 4 standby bowlers, fast bowlers to Australia for net practice. What explains this? What has happened?
I think IPL also, and second, the value of fast bowling, they understand that. I mean, I read a column last week when they asked Brian Lara. Brian Lara said, I don't mind playing Kapil Dev or Shrinath or Zahir Khan, but I don't like to play Bumrah. It was such a great feeling for me ki look, a top fast bowler recognized by the top world player. This is one of the best. I don't like to face him. I must say that we start giving more respect to these fast bowlers because they are winning the matches. Shami, you can say Bumrah, you can say Bhuvneshwar, you can say Ishant Sharma. Hats off, and there's so many other people in the pipeline, a youngster. So as a cricketer and as a bowler, I would say how happy I am. I have no word to express myself. Okay, today we depend on our fast bowler.
Oh, absolutely. And not just that, even in the Indian Premier League, if you see, bowlers are now in greater demand than batsmen. You look at Chabada, Jofra.
I mean, can you imagine that? Yeah.
Leg spinners and fast bowlers have become the most sought after commodities in the IPL. Who would have thought? And everybody thought that Indians don't like to bowl fast because it's a lot of hard work, toiling under the sun, etc., etc. But little incentive and an environment which has improved has completely changed the scenario.
A lot of incentive, a lot of a good best batsman and best bowler today. The IPL, fast bowler will go with a higher value than go for the batsman. I think this give us that strength why India become number one team in the world in last 15-20 years, because we can take 20 wickets today. We always have a spinners. I mean, Anil Kumble, Harbhajan gone, Ashwin, Jadeja comes out, then two-leg spinner, Chinaman, all these bowlers coming up. And you feel proud about that, we are going to produce the spinners, but only they are as good as that if the fast bowler is there. Today, no country would like to say we give them a bouncy wicket.
Yes.
I mean, I put it that. No, in our time, they used to say, oh, give them bouncy wicket and they are 50 for 5 and let's see 120 all out or 180 all out.
Yeah.
And they used to bat one inning and we used to bat two innings. And today it's not like that. It's a happy. My face says everything.
It's quite extraordinary. And actually, you should be happy because you are the fountainhead of this explosion that has come. It's taken 40 years maybe, but it's been a process. And it can be traced back to your success, the impact you had on Indian cricket. Not just, of course, as an all-rounder overall, but as a fast bowler, essentially. Somebody who made Sadiq Mohammed wear a helmet in his first series, as I remember. So, what I wanted to ask...
That's not a big thing. That's not a big thing.
It was wicket then.
No, I mean, today, even a spinner bowling, they wear a helmet.
Yeah,
I mean, today, the wicket keeper wearing a helmet because... the situation has changed.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But anyway, you're being modest. But what I wanted to say is, when you look at the upcoming series, Australia versus India, by common consensus, if you talk to Alan Border, Steve Waugh, former Australian players, or speak to former Indian players, they all feel that the fate of the series depends on India's fast bowlers. Traditionally, when we went overseas, it was about batsmen, will they survive or not. Today, it's fast bowlers.
I would say I asked slightly different. Today, the face of Indian cricket will be the batsman. Can they produce 300 runs, 350 runs? So we depend, our fast bowler will do well. But we are not too sure still. Now our batsman will get 400 runs or not. So I will go other way around. We start depending our bowlers will be good enough. They will perform in those pitches. But our batsmen... if they don't struggle, we have no problem.
Yeah. So you nicely bowled a dusra at me. So now let me come to you with, skills that fast bowlers need to, as we've seen, what is happening is, and you better than anybody else can shed light on this and enlighten. Fast bowlers, when IPL or T20 cricket started, said this is the death knell. Bowlers khatam ho jayenge. They'll become beasts of burden. कि 4 ओवर आके डालना है, बल्लेबाज जो है 65 यार्ड बाउंड्री में मारेगा. Now you've seen these guys come, terms which when we started writing on cricket, or at least I did, never heard. Cross seam se dal raha hai. These bouncers of 4 different paces, 4 different speed or velocity. The improvisations, the innovations that are being brought about by bowlers is quite extraordinary. Do you think that bowlers have come to a stage where they are, you always needed to outthink batsmen in test cricket, but to survive, they are using, apart from skill, a lot more, not just coming and hurling the ball in quickly, but they are outthinking the batsman.
Well, bowler don't have a brain like batsman anyway. That's what everybody used to say that. But I must say that still I'm not happy with the bowlers because the first ball, you can't bowl with the cross seam. No, it doesn't matter what. Now in this IPL, I can see that I felt a little bit, they realize the swing bowling is more important than fast bowling. You have to move the ball. All the players who were moving the ball with the pace, they are more successful. Even Sandeep, who have 120, 125 or 115, still he was more difficult because he was moving. All the bowler have to understand that it's not the pace, it's not the cross seam. Can you swing the ball, make the batsman difficult, which I think they should learn, but they are learning, they are running away from the art. They are learning a slow ball, knuckle ball, not basic. Swing the ball, put a Yorker. Still, I felt, that's why I said Natraj was my hero of this IPL.
Yes.
A young boys, fearless, and bowling so many Yorkers.
Yes.
And that is the best ball, not today, not yesterday. In 100 years, you can say Yorker is the best, and outgoing ball is the best.
That's true. So now different balls have come into play. There's the, even when you won the World Cup, it was with the red ball, because in those days the matches were played in the daytime. Then white ball came, and then now there's pink ball, day-night test cricket. Explain just briefly as you can, what is the difference? What difference does the color of the ball make to the skills of a bowler?
I never bowled with a pink ball, but basic they have to understand, they have to keep the wrist straight, seam should land on the ground. That's more important. Rest, yes, red ball, you keep on shining, it become better and better, and same with the pink ball, it moves because of the temperature drops in the evening. So you can move the ball. Whenever the ball moves, the test match become interesting. You can say Malcolm Marshall or Wasim or Waqar or Imran or Botham or Willis, they all, Richard Hadley, what an example. You move the ball, McGrath, look at how good he was. The learning of swing bowling should come back. But I think in between, for 4 or 5 years, that art of swing bowling went off, and only thing, other art they were learning, knuckle balls and cross seam. It's fine. But the basic, they say, a batsman should play in a V.
Yes.
You must know how to play in a V, then you can play cross. But if you don't know how to swing the ball, there is no way cross seam or knuckle ball, everything is based.
Yeah. So now, one of the issues which obviously crops up, and it's not just about India, it's happening all over the world, is longevity of a career for a fast bowler. Is it that they're playing too many different formats, and therefore, the breakdown happens? Ishant has broken down, Bhuvneshwar has broken down, injuries recur. Should there be, just specialists for different formats? There will be a few players who straddle all three formats, batsmen or bowlers. But should one, I remember a commentary stint we were doing together 6-7 years back, and you said that these guys keep breaking down because they bhagte nahi hai. They're not doing enough running. The trunks are not strong enough.
That's what we learn. We
Yes.
learn the whatever you do, 4 overs you are bowling, but you have to bowl during the off season or off day at least 20 overs, 15 overs. Your muscles should get used to that. What happens is their coaches only says you can't bowl more than 12 balls or 18 balls. We used to say no. You as a young bowler, you keep on bowling more and more, and your muscle become better and better. In golf, they say when you are, or Sunny Gavaskar said to me, when I was 20, 25, I don't mind playing 200 balls. When I reach 30 or 34, Kapil, I just want to face 20 balls only, and don't put 4 bowlers to bowl me. Just give me 2 bowlers. So by that, you are already plan in your head. So
Yeah.
I think these bowler has to develop their muscles, and if you don't develop, and the pressure what they are playing of IPL and being in the team is that make them crack. It's not anything else.
So one of the big debates raging around Indian cricket currently, and it's happened all over the world, is a 2-captain theory. Should we have a captain for the red ball cricket, and should we have a captain for white ball cricket? As more and more people talk, maybe just to relieve the pressure of one, say Virat Kohli, relieve him the pressure of ODIs and T20s, and let somebody else like a Rohit Sharma take over. England has that, Australia has that, other countries have that. But there are pros and cons. Both. There are 2 theories which work. Which one do you
So I like to see my culture first. In our culture, it's not going to happen that in one company you make two CEOs. No. If Virat Kohli going to play T20 and he's good enough, let him be there. Even though I like to see other people coming out, but it's very, very difficult because the player, 80% are the same team who are going to play, or 70% test match, one day, or T20. They didn't like to see a captain have a different theory. England, Australia, South Africa, their mindset and their culture is different. Here our culture come into that, and I would say I like to see that, but it's going to bring more differences between the players whom they should look up to. Because here we look up to the captain, and if you have two captain, they will say, oh, he's going to be my captain, so I don't want to annoy him if he's playing test match. So I would say, for the betterment of the team, let it go like this. If one player is very good, like Virat Kohli, if he can't play T20 or one day, then I can understand. But if he's going to play all the cricket, I would say let it be there. But I'm so happy today we can have 2-3 players. If anything happened to Virat, like he's coming back from Australia, we have another person who can do as good as job than anybody else. And that's is good for India.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question, then I've got a flurry of questions coming from the audience, so I'm going to then throw those questions at you. My last question to you is, big money in cricket, especially in Indian cricket, everybody wants to come and play, the Australians, the South Africans, the English, wagera, wagera. Is big money in the Indian, and you talked about culture a little earlier, is it an incentive or a distraction today for Indian cricket or Indian cricketers?
I think I would say incentive. Today, if the boy is not very good in studies today, their parents says, go. If you can't study, go become a player. Which in our time, it was impossible to hear that. So today the incentive is so much, and that should be there. Why not? Our players should be the richest in the world. Why not? We have seen the negative side of that. There is no money. And we have seen how the players struggle and they forget from cricket, goes to the different things. So I would like to see there a lot of money and teach them the responsibility. It's not money, it's the responsibility to Ravi Shastri and the senior players. Ki this is your 10 years earning, you have to live rest of your life with that. I think it's important. We are not like Australian, we are not like American or European or English. You know, after they stop playing cricket, they can do any kind of job. No, it's not possible. And same thing like if you say a Bracewell, he was doing
Great figures.
Yeah, you put it like that, and you feel, can any of Indian test player can do a taxi? Chatfield is driving a taxi. It's not possible in our culture, and that scares me. And I would like to see they should be rich from the pocket, all the players.
Okay, so I'm quickly going to get into the questions that we got from first one is from Nidhi Bhatia. And she asked, where do you see the trajectory of women's cricket headed, particularly in terms of international league and first class cricket?
I think we must say that in last 15 years, women cricket come to 1 to scale of 10, 1 to 7. Before that, 10, 15 years back, there was nothing to talk about women cricket. Today, we know about women cricket. All the test player, all the Indian team knows about their women cricket, what they are doing. I think it's a great incentive. And if the cricket board can look after the women cricket, why not? But in such a short span, don't expect so much. Slowly let them grow. And that's important.
Okay. There's a question from Bhavesh Dattani, and he asks, what was the best moment of the 1983 World Cup for you? Was it scoring 175 against Zimbabwe or Viv Richards' catch in the final?
I think, no, two things was more important. Balwinder Singh Sandhu's wicket and Mohinder Amarnath taking last wicket.
Yes.
Because if we have not taken, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have won the World Cup. So I think understand the first start is very important, which Balwinder Singh Sandhu did, and then Mohinder Amanath.
Yeah. And so Mohit Dalal asks a very interesting question, and this is: how do you think one can handle failure, stardom, and regret? We talk about something pertaining to modern cricketers also. What measures did you take to handle all of these as a cricketer?
Just you have to have a passion. First, people have to understand that the sports is the passion. When you love somebody, it doesn't matter good and bad. You have to be passionate about that. You are looking for the result, not looking for the passion. Be passionate, play the game, result will come. But don't start counting before you go to the ground. No. As Sunil Gavaskar said, you can't make 100 in 20 balls. You have to make sure get 20, then get another 20, then get 50, then 70, then 90, then 100. That's how you make a 100 in cricket also. Don't put pressure to yourself. Just passionate, enjoy the game, have a smile. I mean, that's very important. Don't try to have what you said, depression. Yeah. Don't have depression about didn't get runs in 3 innings, doesn't matter. Go back to the basics, start practicing in the net. That's where you learn and come back to get runs.
You should have a counseling session, not for Indian cricketers certainly, but also for international cricketers, because every day you read the papers, you find two more players are saying, "I'm undergoing depression." It's becoming
Ayaz, I'm very happy.
Okay, I have a question from Dhiman Sarkar, and he asked, and while defining the new era as the theme, but when Kapil Dev comes in, people are looking back in time and saying, "Idhar kya hua, udhar kya hua." So he asked Dhiman, "What are your recollections of that famous test in Melbourne in 1981, where you bowled superbly in the final innings, but which wouldn't have happened had Sunil Gavaskar and Chetan Chauhan walked off?"
I think these type of incidents make things happen, and the storytellers are very good. I'm not a storyteller. I think that's a test match becomes so famous because Sunil and Chetan walked out, and it become a topic. And after that, if you win, today also, if you go back to ask Sunil, you done right, he will say, no, I haven't done right. Like if you ask me, have I done right to bowl Peter Kirsten being done one cut? No, I don't feel. But at that moment when you are with the team, what is best for the team, you try to do that. But sometime what Sunil did, your team get charged. And every sportsman need that spark. कभी कभी वो स्पार्क चाहिए दूसरे को मारने के लिए.
कभी कभी चाहिए या हर टाइम चाहिए?
नहीं, कभी कभी चाहिए to charge yourself.
Okay, I've got a question from Sunil Wadhwa. What, according to you, are the 3 qualities that make a great cricket captain? 3 qualities.
I think forget about your performance. Start looking for the team, because every player need a captain's nod in our subcontinent.
Yeah.
It's very important, and any youngster who's not good, it is the captain's job to make sure sit and have a cup of tea and give him the confidence. And that is the one quality and the best quality. And second, you have to lead from the front. If you are the captain, and if you lose or done something wrong, your team take the blame on yourself. Say, my team, no, they're not done, I done something wrong. And when your team do well, then you say, it's not me, it's my team. Those are the qualities make you a different captain altogether.
And is there a third quality that you can highlight?
I think keep 2 is good enough. You don't have too many options.
So I have a corollary question there very quickly. Would you like a captaincy by consensus or captaincy by authority? It's only me and nobody else.
Look, sometime in India subcontinent, in our system, authority also require. But I think you have to behave like a big brother, where you can shout to your team also and give a hug also. And that is important. Authority is with your performance and with your work. It's not with the chamchagiri and other things. Authority is, yes, you are honest to your team, and that is authority.
And there is this question by Nitin Mantri. Do you think Test cricket will eventually survive or die?
If it's die, I would say ICC have done the worst thing. And let all of us not let Test cricket die. Anything else, but not the Test cricket die. You can well imagine what will happen to the record of Sachin Tendulkar and Virender Sehwag, Sunil Gavaskar, Anil Kumble. It will all go. So no, don't let it die. You can modify, you can change little bit, but don't let it die. To all the people, you must watch Test cricket also and enjoy that. I know people don't have a time, but I think taking time out for a good thing, it's always good for everybody.
Okay, so final question is from me, and it's linked to what you mentioned about the ICC. They have to ensure that Test cricket doesn't die. I want your projection for who will win. Who do you think will win the World Test Championship if everything goes right? Australia has just replaced India as the number one in the points, even for the World Championship of cricket. But India and Australia look like the most likely contestants.
Yes.
How do you see it playing out?
It's depend whom they are playing against. If more test matches Australia going to play at home, there will be more chances. But India, I don't know how many test matches going to come. Even the points is less. But India have a very big chance if you play against Pakistan today, Sri Lanka today, Zimbabwe today, West Indies today, South Africa today. India have more chances to win abroad, at home also. With Australia, this series will determine who's going to be number one.
I thought that would be my last question, but I'm going to ask you one final question.
Soch le.
No, soch liya. So there is always this talk, and this is becoming more and more amongst batsmen. Steve Smith, Joe Root, Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli. Now there's Magnus Labuschagne who's come in. Rohit Sharma emerging as even in the 5-day format as a major talent, major run scorer. So one is of course about the batsmen, and then the other is the bowlers. Who do you really say I must watch this guy? Put on the TV and I must a batsman and a bowler.
I think a batsman, no doubt, Virat Kohli is more sound, and Williamson. If you look at Smith and Virat Kohli is on the same boat, because they reach at an age where the eyesight is start dropping, and they both like to play across the legs, and both can be candidate of LBW or something. We used to say from 28 to 34, you are the best. But you have to adjust your eyesight. When you start playing like Smith, no movement of leg. What happened to Virender Sehwag? What happened to Rahul Dravid? What happened to so many great cricketers? Once the eye goes, if they don't play technically correct, there are more chances they will be out many times. So where Joe Root and Williamson look more compact in that, because they don't play so much across. Yeah. But if Virat Kohli can handle himself for 6 months to play straight, I don't have to flick the ball from offside, which is his favorite shot also, then he look much dangerous player than anybody else. But his eyesight, human being, is not going to be 18 years old. So he have to adjust himself, not me. We can pick up the mistake and good point about him. And the bowler, I think, Bumrah, he's not Indian, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's quite a remarkable bowler with his action and unorthodox.
Yes, I still feel about him, 4 overs or 8 overs is fine. When he have to bowl 20 overs or 25 overs in a day for 3, 4, 5 test matches, then it will be him, because he put so much effort with such a short run up. What Michael Holding said, that I think he's right. He's going to put so much pressure on his body. I hope he can survive. But today, with such a short run up, he rattled the batsman more often than any other bowler I have seen.
Fantastic, Kapil. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us and defining a new era. I think all of us are interested in sport being played, cricket being played. not being in a lockdown situation. And obviously, we are also delighted that you have sprung back into action, sharing your views. See you on the golf course and see you in the commentary box and see you involved with Indian cricket all the while. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you to everybody, and thank you to HT. Good luck to you people. You have looked after us, in a sense, our coverage so much. So I like to say I got a stage to thank everybody, all the media people. They have made this game so big because of you people.
Thank you.